Hello, everyone. Sorry for the interruption. So welcome to this new edition of BeMyGuest. Today, we are going to talk about the crisis major international motor shows are going through. And we are talking about the case of Geneva. It is probably the most prestigious motor show in the world. The Geneva Motor Show has its all over 100 world premieres, innovation and concept cars, supercars, hypercars, exotic brands such as Pagani, Koenigsegg, Rimac, Pininfarina, you name it. Brands you never see on the roads, you only see in Monaco or Dubai. And today I'm very happy to welcome the freshly appointed CEO of the GIMS Swiss, Sandro MESQUITA. Hello, Sandro, welcome. And thank you.
Hi.
For being here. So, Sandro, the Geneva Motor Show belongs to the historic international motor shows. It was founded in 1905, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And it's one of the largest ones in the world too. How many visitors do you have in average every year?
So in average, it's between 650,000, and the good years it was above 700,000 visitors.
So last March, unfortunately, you had to cancel the motor show 4 days before press days due to the sanitary situation. It was the first time it was cancelled since World War II. What had you planned for the 90th edition? I think it was the 90th edition of the Geneva Motor Show.
Yeah, it was. First of all, it was very unfortunate that we had to cancel. It was it was a terrible decision to take, but we didn't have the choice because it was decided by the government. So we had just to apply the I would say the decision that the government decided. So yes, it was a big shock for us, and this year it was precisely a big shock for us because it was the year of big changes. So we had planned to see a bit what would be the new look of the Geneva Motor Show for the future. So we decided to launch several initiatives, new initiatives. One of them was a test drive track for electrical, gas, and hydrogen cars. So it was indoor.
So if you allow me, I'm going to show a little video of what was planned with that indoor track. Yes, it was very exciting, looked very exciting. So that was an indoor track. How large was it?
It was almost 500 meters,
okay.
48 cars. Yeah, so it was really an experience because it was not only a track, it was also some explanation about all these alternatives cars. It was really a new exciting experience, and it was really to sensibilize the people to these new to these alternatives cars, and also because that's the feedback we receive from the brands, that a lot of people never try them. So it was really the opportunity to try in of course it's not in a real life in a real life situation, but at least
still you had the curves. Yes, you had it. Yes, and
we even simulate the bridges, some bridges.
Really?
So it was really cool. Yeah.
So it was a new mobility track. And what brands were supposed to take part to that new mobility track? What kind of cars could you drive?
So it was mainly electric cars, but we had also cars with hydrogen and gas. It was mainly the three mode. Yeah.
And what were the brands? BMW, Audi.
Yeah, I will probably forget some of them, but yeah, Mercedes was there. So a lot of the most important brands were part. We had at the end a waiting list, so we could have show more than 48 cars, but it was just the limit of the space. Yeah, so it was a huge success. Yeah.
And I'm going to show another video of the track. We can see it's much better. Sorry, it was quite impressive. What speed could you drive on that track? Were you allowed to drive real fast, or?
No. Unfortunately, it was not more than 50. No, it was limited also for security reasons. Yeah. No, it was unfortunately not possible to really feel all the I would say all the possibility of the car, but 0 to 50, it's already something. Yeah.
So you had that as it was brand new actually, but this was the first time you had an indoor track inside the Geneva Motor Show. And what else did you offer for this 90th edition?
So we planned also a new area dedicated to new technology. So it was called GIMS Tech. So the idea was to
startups and
exactly with startups, with other main players also. So it was the objective was really to show all the different evolutions and new technologies that are developed for the car industry, but it was also to showcase all the dynamism of the startups. And around these GIMS Tech, we also plan to have some conferences about new technologies and new approaches for the car industry.
So of course, it was not planned. The sanitary situation, well, it was supposed to take place, and it was shortly cancelled. But the sanitary situation is one thing. But we saw a couple of weeks ago with Jean-Claude Giraud, the former CEO of the Paris Motor Show, that the crisis that international historic motor shows are going through is there for Geneva as well, actually. It's all the international motor shows that are concerned by the crisis, Detroit, Paris, Frankfurt, which is moving to Munich. I'm not sure it's a solution, but and Geneva, of course. What is the reason of this crisis? What's going on? It's you have, I'm showing some atmosphere pictures, but there were a lot of people at the last edition in 2019, the same with Paris in 2018, but still we are talking about the crisis. What kind of crisis? What is the crisis?
Yeah, I think there is several reasons behind this crisis, and maybe crisis it's a too strong word. I think what is important is just to see that maybe the motor show have not followed the evolution of the car industry, and I believe that the times where you just showcase cars in a nice place, it's not enough, and that's finished and that's over. Today the brands are looking for growth, not only because of the crisis that they are facing because of the coronavirus, but in general, they are looking for growth, and they are looking for marketing tools that can help them to achieve their growth, or can support their growth. And I think in that context, we need to rethink, and in another way, maybe to reinvent the way that we are organizing our events. So it's not only about the content, but probably also about the format that we can put in place for these motor shows. So for me, it's not so much a crisis. It's more a transformation that is happening, and it's not new. It's probably these last years that is already started, and we have to adapt to that, and to adapt to this. Yeah.
Because
Sorry.
if you allow me, the crisis doesn't concern the public. We hear sometimes that people don't like the automobile anymore, which is not the case, because you can see there are still a lot of people visiting motor shows, but it's more the brands that don't come to international motor shows anymore. And I think you had many brands missing this year, like Lamborghini, Ford, Jaguar, Peugeot, Citroën, etc. So in fact, yes, it's you need to find a new offer for the car makers. This is
Yes,
what you're
absolutely.
saying.
Absolutely, and coming back with what I was saying, it's about return on investment. Of course, these brands are investing massive budgets in these fairs, and if there is not a way to show them and to prove that there is a return on investment, of course they will question if it makes sense for them or not. You know, we cannot consider these motor shows just as an image platform. It's not enough. It was maybe the case the last years, but now we have to come back to the basics. And the basics are return on investment. And for that, we need to work on the format. So meaning maybe we have to help the brands to stop this kind of competition. You know, the biggest booth is the winning one. You see what I mean? So they are building maybe booths that are too big, too expensive, and we have maybe to try a way to suggest them or to propose formats that are maybe you know predefined, and helping them to invest more in the content, the way that they show their products, and maybe less on the architecture of this massive booth. That's a way, but we need also to rethink the experience that the visitors are having, because you're right, there is still a lot of people, but we see also that it's decreasing a bit, and it's decreasing because we need to propose a unique experience. And well, for example, the track, sorry, I'm too long in my answers.
I would say it's decreasing because all the brands are not present. Well, if major brands like Lamborghini, for instance, don't come to motor shows anymore, it won't attract fewer people. It will attract fewer people, of course. So I don't think it's because the format is not the right one for the public, but it's because brands are missing.
No, I think it's both. I think we have to work on both sides. So I think for the brands, we need to be able to show them that there is a return on investment. And again, there is several ways to improve that. And I still believe that for visitors, it's also important to be sure that the experience, because it's true, cars are important, and without cars, there is no motor show. But we have also to be able to show the evolution of the cars in the society. So it's not only about showing cars, but it's also to live another experience. I'm convinced about that. Yeah.
So what kind of experience would you like to offer? Do you have any ideas?
So yes, I think the initiatives that were planned for this year were going in the right direction. Okay. So it's motor shows that are more, I would say, more immersive, more interactive. You know, there is also we are known for the supercars. You know, we are the motor show of the supercars. But I know that there is also some frustrations from people because they cannot access these cars, and maybe there is also ways to allow them to visit the cars, maybe with other means. You know, it's maybe more digital. I don't know, but we have to make them feel maybe more part of the experience and not maybe just.
Well, I think you're right, because as I was a child, we were able to get close to the Porsches, the Ferraris, and to touch them. Now you have those barriers around, those gates around the cars when it's public days, and I think people may feel frustrated indeed.
Yeah, and that's something that I would like also to discuss with the brands, to see what are the solutions, and maybe there is solutions that we can propose to the brands. And it's also for them, you know, because people that are frustrated, it's good for nobody, you know, for the brands, but also for us. So we need to find ways also to make them part of this experience.
So there is someone saying, well said, Sandro, let's reinvent the motor show of the 21st century. So you had those, for those who are joining, so you were offering for this 90th edition an indoor track and a space for startups as well. But, well, of course, everything was cancelled, but you maintained the car of the year. You did it online. I'm just going to show it.
Wow.
And it's obviously electric.
Beautiful. Congrats to Peugeot. Well done.
That's a serious almost, because Peugeot had won in 2014 and 2017 already with
So what was really interesting was that you were all by yourself. Those two people were all by themselves with the Peugeot 208, and live online, there was the CEO of Peugeot with his team watching the award and being live on internet as well. So that was pretty cool to do that. Actually, that was a digital experience as well.
Yeah, it's true, and you are now touching another important subject or theme. It's digitalization. And I believe that we need also to integrate this digitalization in the motor shows, but we have just to find the right way, because I still believe that the experience, the live experience, it's part of our DNA, and it's what the brands and the visitors are looking for. But at the same time, there is probably other ways to present the cars and to be part of this experience on digital. That was for us a great experience, and for sure for the next edition, these kind of initiatives will be integrated too.
So of course, well, it's touching and seeing, and drive testing is part of the show, and this is the DNA of the show as well. But yes, maybe integrating something digital to it. So were you planning on awarding awards to startups as well? You know, this is something that is very trendy at the moment. People organize innovation awards, and was that planned as well at the Geneva Motor Show?
I don't think so. It was not really the plan. I think you know, there is also a backside of all these initiatives. I think we have to be careful to stay with the car at the center. And I think it's important that all the initiatives that will be put in place, you know, for our motor show are servicing the car and the automotive industry. So it's important, you know, because we will not become a second CES. It's not the objective of the Geneva Motor Show. And it's important also that we don't start to be a kind of mobility motor show with scooters, with bikes, etc. It's not what we want. What we want is to be
Are you talking about the Paris
platform. For example, it's not the way. By the way, I have a lot of respect, of course, for this show, but it's really not the direction that we want to take. To be clear. And that's important that we stay true to ourselves, to our DNA, and to our purpose, and the car will stay at the center. Yeah.
So I have a question of Moreno Volpi, who is asking if vertical mobility could be a theme for a next edition.
Yes, sure. Sure, we need really to be able to be a platform where all these themes and all these trends are discussed. I told you that one of the initiatives was the GIMS Tech, but we planned also what we call, maybe it was not a good name, but it was the name, VIP Day. So it was a kind of day dedicated with conferences. And I think it's important that we are also able to be a platform where we discuss the future of the mobility, and we are able, through conferences, through spaces where we show the new technologies, but you know, really to be able to discuss and to exchange on these new I would say trends or models.
So what will happen next year? Will there be, there are some rumors saying that there will be no 2021 edition of the Geneva International Motor Show. Is that true?
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible. It's not decided yet. We will decide end of June if there is if the next edition it's in 21 or in 2022. Actually, the situation is the following. So, as you know or not, we are a foundation, and in our foundation we have a council, and the majority of this council is representatives of the car industry. And today, the messages or the signals that we are receiving from this industry is that a participation in the next edition in March, it's risky for them. It's risky because of the crisis that they are facing, and we all know, we follow the news, and we saw Renault, etc., etc. So there is a massive pressure on the costs. There is a massive reduction on budgets, in marketing budget, communication budgets, and for them, March next year would be it's not sure at all. So the signals are not very positive on that side. On the other side, there is still a lot of uncertainty regarding the sanitary situation. And yes, so with all this information, we have to take a decision, and you can imagine it's not easy. And yeah, and we cannot. That's the most important thing. We cannot face another fail, you know, because if there is another problem like the ones we had this year with the cancellation, etc., it will be probably the end of the show. So yeah, so now we are thinking maybe to skip next year and to focus on the show for 2022.
How did the brands react to the short notice of the cancellation this year? Did they understand it was, it was not your fault actually, but it was a government decision, or were they angry?
I think it was a mixed. It was a mixed. It was a mix between brands that were angry with this cancellation because of the investments, and I understand that, and other were more comprehensive. And I have to say,
there was no refund, right? There was no refund for the brands.
No, there is no. Two things. So first of all, from a legal point of view, we are not liable because it was a case of what we said in French, cas de force majeure. Mm-hmm. So in that case, we are not liable to make a reimbursement, but this is not what we want. To be clear, and I would like to take this opportunity to say it again. So the foundation, the GIMS, wants to reimburse the exhibitors for the rent of the space. But for that, as you maybe know or not, we are facing also some difficulties, financial difficulties, and my first priority since I arrived 1st of May, it's to find financial solutions to be able to reimburse the exhibitors and to plan a new edition.
Okay, but I saw in the press that the GIMS refused money from the government in Geneva, right?
From the Geneva state, yes, absolutely.
Why?
So it was last week. So why? For one main reason, it's because with the loan. So it was a loan. Huh? It was not a donation. So it was a loan. So with this loan, they asked some conditions that were not acceptable by the foundation. So it's starting now to be a bit a local thing, but I will try to explain that to the people on following us. So one of the conditions was to transfer I would say the organization and the conceptualization of the show to Palexpo. Palexpo is the company that owns the infrastructure for the exhibition. And this company is owned by the state. So okay. The argument, so you see, so it's a way to control. For the state, it was a guarantee to control what we would do, and for the foundation, it was of course considered as an unfriendly takeover, and for this reason. They decided to refuse this loan.
Okay. So where do you think you're going to find the money, actually? Because you said you wanted to find money to refund the booth,
so
but
you don't have some millions for me, or it was that's why I accepted this interview. No.
So if you have money for the GIMS, you can do a donation.
please donate. No, seriously, there is several solutions, more than solutions, because we are in discussion with partners. So the solution will be probably a mix of financial institutions, donations, and some partners that will help us. So it's a mix of several solutions, and together I hope that soon I will be able to communicate that we find a solution, but it's in progress.
Okay, so just to be reassured, there will be a new edition of the Geneva Motor Show, maybe not next year, but for sure in 2022. It doesn't mean the Geneva Motor Show is disappearing, right?
So I cannot guarantee anything, unfortunately, but I can guarantee one thing: it's that I will put all my energy to be sure that there is a next edition for sure. And what we are looking for, it's not only to organize a next edition, it's really to make sure that we have a sustainable financial situation for the next years. So it's not only short term, it's really to find a new financial stability with a good balance between the several investors to be sure that we are in a good place for the next years.
Okay, well, we certainly hope you're going to manage that to handle that situation, because it would be such a shame. It's such a great motor show. I just love it, and I know I'm not the only one. This is everyone's favorite. So I really hope you're going to come back stronger and with a lot of innovation as well. But too bad we missed that edition this year, because it looked very exciting with the track and even what was presented here. We have the Mercedes AVTR. So it's we missed a lot, and well, I hope we'll be able to come back to Geneva really soon. Well, thanks a lot, Sandro, for accepting my invitation and for sharing with us your ambitions for the Geneva Motor Show. And good luck to you and to the whole team of GIMS Swiss. And thank you for watching on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, and YouTube, and for taking the time to watch the replay as well. And tomorrow, I will be welcoming François Roudier from the CCFA. Donc, demain, c'est François Roudier, directeur de la communication du CCFA.
Thank you very much, and merci pour l'invitation.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.